The irony is, though, is that it's rich people who vote for the Greens. Poor people don't vote for the Greens. Do they?
Lower income people tend to not vote. And that is a really big issue that we have to grapple with.
Even the ones who do not vote for the Greens. You
And-
know that.
and-
You know the figures. We could rattle through them.
Yeah.
You know the figures as well as I do. Your vote is coming from richer New Zealanders, isn't it?
Which is a really interesting point, because we are also the party that has campaigned successively on wealth taxes in 2020 and 2023, yet people are telling us that this will result in an exodus of wealthy people, yet you're also telling us that those are the people voting for us.
I'm not telling you
But
any. We didn't
nonetheless-
talk about capital
Yeah,
flight, but we could.
But nonetheless, ultimately what we are saying here is we can build a fairer society. Yes, there is work that we need to do when it comes to people stepping into their power politically and understanding that we create this thing that we call a country together. And that's the outreach that we'll be doing, building grassroots momentum and organising skills so that we can achieve these things come the next election.
Why don't poor people vote for the Greens?
That's something which we're around the country mobilising and organising and working with people on.
What do you think?
There's a number of different explanations there. I mean, potentially one of them harks back to your point earlier about the caricature of what the Greens are and who they represent and what we stand for, which is why it's important for people to understand that we're a party of
What do you mean by that?
environmental and social justice. Well, I mean, you at the top of this interview were just talking about how our name is green and our colour is green, and therefore we're just environmentalists. But we're far more than that, and we've always been more than that. We've always cared about the well-being of people and the planet. Obviously, there is work to do when it comes to communicating that to people and having people not only understand that, but trust us. I think that trust piece is a really important component of moving the dial on political issues for so long. I mean, since the time that I got involved in politics, I have felt as though regular people have not seen themselves reflected in our House of Parliament, let alone in our local councils around the country. And I said in my maiden speech, if I can achieve just one thing in my time in politics, it's to change people's perception of what politics really is. Because it's not us in Parliament giving Shakespearean soliloquies that nobody's really listening to.
It's
about power.
Yeah, but
none of this
is
to make decisions.
None of this
has
has
daily lives.
resonated. None of this has resonated with the voters in Māngere and those lower.
So far, I'll absolutely admit that. So far, we have not got there. That's why we need to keep going.
And what does that look like?
That looks like turning up. It looks like not just turning up in those election years. It looks like actually listening to people and understanding what their issues are and working with them to create solutions. So yeah, you'll see more of that in the next few weeks and months.